Panago Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
Gentlemen, I want to start the show on a bit of a somber note. Shout out to all of our British listeners, of which there are a surprising many. There are a lot of people.
Always have been.
And, you know, our thoughts and prayers to you and your family. I know the British way is to, because my family's British, keep going on.
Carry on.
Keep carrying on as if nothing, it's all fine, everything's good, stiff upper lip. We love you. Thank you for listening. And, here's to a peaceful future.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, we got to talk a little bit of hockey. We need to escape all the bad and get into the good. And the fact that the Penguins tweeted one Steve Dangle.
Yes.
That's story number one of the show.
They certainly did. Me too.
Game,
I was like, that's not where I thought you were going to go.
No. Frank Corrado freed by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And according to Penguins fans, he played great.
That's good. That's good for Frank Corrado. Mm-hmm. I never doubted it.
I just like that the Penguins Twitter account CC'd you when Frank Corrado was actually freed.
I want to know who runs that account. I want to know.
Do you think you know them?
I don't know.
Do you think they listen to this show?
I don't know.
Probably.
Can we say hi to them right now?
Hi, guy or girl, or girl
hello,
or guy.
Penguin peep. I don't know. I don't know what to
Penguin man.
Penguin man.
I have
we should
no
have
idea.
like a little hint, like in your next tweet or the tweet after you listen to the show. There should be an extra L in one of the words.
Yeah, like
like the kind of L Washington's gonna take when they run into Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
I thought you were gonna go less subtle than that. Like, tweet out some article like about one of the Penguins players and be like, know the facts about Evgeny Malkin.
Or tweet our podcast out.
Or just be like,
tweet our podcast link out.
Love you guys. Man, these guys know what's up.
Yeah, just at Steve and be like, hey, yeah, I listen.
Yeah. It can even be from your personal account. That's fine. Yeah, add Steve from your personal account. DM me, though.
Yeah.
And other than that,
just slide.
I mean, that was great news. It was great news that the Penguins tweeted you. Steve, how many NHL teams have tweeted you?
Ooh, I don't know. The Leafs for sure.
Shocking.
I think the Panthers, the Penguins.
The Panthers have tweeted about this show because Doug Seafood.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I'm not sure who else, though. Not sure who else. Maybe I'm forgetting.
Definitely not the Windsor Spitfires.
No, they have not tweeted me. I feel like a few teams.
They had blocked. If you missed it, Steve was blocked by the Spitfires for like 6 years.
Yeah, but then because they blocked me.
In his cantankerous youth, he offended somebody at the Spits, and then
who was a jerk.
We talked about this on the show, and then literally the episode later, or a day later, you were unblocked.
I don't know. When I checked after the episode, before anyone had even tweeted them, I was unblocked. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Very mysterious.
A lot of people listening.
It's very good.
And I guess I buried the lead a little bit here, but I think with good reason. The freaking Toronto Maple Leafs! Woo! God!
Winners of all the games.
God!
All the games.
That felt so good.
It felt fairly good.
No.
You see, because... They didn't just beat the Blue Jackets. They erect them. Like wrecked.
No.
Well, shortest episode of the podcast ever.
Yeah, it's done.
Brought to you by Panago Pizza. It's what's on the inside the couch.
The Leafs.
Oh, we're still going?
The Leafs winning that game. And with respect to Columbus, I understand why they started Korpisalo. I get that because it makes sense.
Yeah, Bob's banged up, isn't he? Or something?
No, tonight's the important game.
Well, yeah, they're playing Washington tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
However,
they made the right choice there.
Yeah.
Had they started him last night, I think they'd be ahead of Washington in the standings tonight, wouldn't they?
I think they would be tied with 102 each.
They'd be tied with 102
So
each.
then...
But Columbus would have won the regulation overtime tiebreaker, so they would have 48 wins and would have been in first place.
Yeah, but then you lose to Washington and you just
Why would you lose to Washington?
Because you got Korpisalo in instead
See,
of...
and I think Doug McLean made a really good point yesterday. He said, I would have started Bobrovsky today and tomorrow, and then I would have started Korpisalo on the weekend and give Bobrovsky till next Tuesday off. And I think he made a good point. I mean, think about it. The playoffs are just like that, right? And you're 10 games away.
Maybe not 24 hours.
The playoffs.
And you're going for a division conference. You're not just going for a division title. You're going for a conference title here.
Do they need it?
Not necessarily. Not really. I mean, do you need it? You can't even touch the trophy. They won't let you. Well, so superstition won't let you.
I don't know how much I hate that strategy.
I don't hate it.
Because, man, if you win the Metro, like how you do not want to finish second or third in the Metro. No. Like, I wonder if the Penguins are like, shoot. Like, where they've put themselves.
If you win the Metro, you get one of the Islanders, Boston, or maybe Toronto.
Yep. Or in slight chance, Tampa.
If you finish second or third, you are getting
Pittsburgh, Columbus, or Washington. Potentially the Rangers, too.
Like
no
that.
thanks.
No
thank
thanks.
you.
No.
If you're in the Metro, you don't want to play anyone from the Metro.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you have to.
So it's sort of important that they win. And also pride. You want to have that banner, don't you? You want to put that up in your stadium.
Absolutely.
I think that's important.
I mean, it'd be important for Columbus. I don't even think. Do they have one? No. I think they won a division a long time ago when Steve Mason won like Rookie of the Year, and then Detroit swept him, so it didn't matter.
Oh,
you could drape it over the cannon.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
That's right.
It accidentally gets caught. It's about to rock! It just sets on fire. We had it for... Oh, shoot.
But last night's game, there was a lot of things. There was a lot of... They talk about like dropping a rock into a pond and you see the ripple effect. Last night, there was a lot of ripple. There was a lot of ripple. It was like somebody dropped a boulder, I would say.
Wow. Someone tried to skip a rock.
That's right. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Because it was two teams at the top of their game, I thought.
I thought that was a great game.
I thought it was... both sides played really, really, really well. So, quick summary. Leafs jump out to a 2-0 lead in the first. Matthews pulls within one goal of the Leafs rookie record. All-time rookie record. If you adjusted that for era,
my God.
He's way ahead.
Yeah, no
However,
disrespect to Wendell Clark, but it was easier to score in 1985.
Columbus ties it up in the second with a couple of quicker goals, and then just when I thought you're not sure which way it's going to go, because Columbus kind of really sort of dominated the end of the second period, and
there were a few fire drills.
William Nylander near the end of the second gets a little bit of room and puts it top shelf like Stevie Y against the St. Louis Blues in 1996, kind of quick.
Bring it back to Toronto.
Bring it back to Toronto. It was unbelievable, that shot, the accuracy of that shot.
It was a nice combination of skill, awareness, and luck. So Nylander was there because he had gotten knocked down a few seconds prior. Tyler Bozak hits him with an amazing stretch pass. And hit
him with the pass.
Hit him with the pass. Like Auston Matthews, we'll figure it out. And he bettered Korpisalo. He was better than Korpisalo there. Now I watched this game and I watched the highlights.
Hang on, I just want to finish up the third period here.
You do that.
Late in the third, Nazem Kadri gets a juicy rebound. A questionable rebound because Nazem Kadri could have been offside. They went back, they reviewed it. Looked like he was onside, just barely, but he was.
There was so much in that game. I didn't even bring that up in the video. I forgot.
Because there's so much. So Nazem Kadri, and we won't focus too much on that because everybody universally hates the offside replay thing. It's stupid and it's bad and we need to stop. But Kadri scores. What's big about that is it's his 30th goal of the year.
Absolutely. Couple milestones. We forgot about Willie's 20th.
We're going to get to Willie's 20th. We've got things. And then, of course, we've got, I think it was Zaitsev scored the fifth goal. I can't remember even who scored the first overtime goal or the first empty net goal, but there was two empty net goals.
No.
Wasn't there?
No.
5-2.
See, I was confused about that, too. No, Kadri. Jesus, how did it go? Komarov, Matthews, Nylander, Kadri on
Kadri was the fourth goal.
Yeah, and then Zaitsev.
Yes, then Zaitsev. And that was a pretty good shot by Zaitsev. Like from his own blue line, almost like a Hail Mary pass, and then comes down and...
There was some ridiculous stat. I think it was before... It was the Boston game where they scored two empty netters, right?
Yeah.
I think it was before that game, the Leafs had... I want to say the stat I saw was one empty netter this entire season.
Wow.
Something goofy like that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
So the interesting thing watching this game. Let's start with William Nylander.
The game summary?
That was basically the game
You
center.
didn't mention the 7-minute power.
Oh well,
I wasn't gonna say that, Jesse.
I have it in here.
That's kind of very.
I have it. It's towards the end of the many ripples that we have to talk about.
And the Foligno hit, which I recorded after I finished recording my video and just inserted it because I'm like, I forgot.
Yeah.
That was a thick game. Very thick.
Okay, we can start with
Two Cs.
If you would like to start with the penalty kill, we can start with that penalty kill.
I think that was the story of the game. Let's go
You
with
think that was the story of the game?
Yeah.
Probably.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
Dangerous hit. Really dangerous hit.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't seem to love the call. Bjorkstrand did turn a bit. I don't think it was malicious intent on Polak's part. What I gathered from the replay is he closed his eyes. So I think he was hitting, as far as he knew, he was hitting him shoulder on shoulder. But yeah, you can't do that. You got him on the numbers, man. Can't do it.
So he gets a major penalty and a match penalty, basically. And essentially from there, the Leafs have an opportunity to put a guy.
Sorry, what?
An opportunity.
Thank you.
To put a guy in the box. And Mike Babcock decides, well, we don't have to put a guy in the box, so let's not. Let's keep him out.
Yeah, so I didn't understand that. Did he forget or choose not to?
Chose.
Yeah.
So who was on the ice? I got to assume it was all penalty killers.
I think probably that was part of the reason.
Well, the rule is he could put a guy in whenever there's a stoppage. It's just there was no stoppage. So he doesn't. So he'll have access to every guy on his bench if he doesn't put a guy in the box.
But there was no.
But so he's like, okay, first stoppage, I'll throw somebody in when it's close to near the end of the penalty kill, and it just never happened.
You notice it? Like I was like, wow, half the third period's over and it's only 9:17. Like it was because it just kept going and going and going. So the penalty kill goes beyond the 5-minute penalty that Polak got because again, as Jesse said, there's no whistle.
I've never seen this happen to the Leafs
And
my
it
entire
goes
life. I didn't know.
Almost 6. It goes 6 seconds shy of an extra 2 minutes. So we're talking about a 7-minute penalty kill.
6:54.
Gross.
And that is, and what I loved about that was Babcock on the bench said, boys, that was my bad. And then in front of the media, that was the first thing he said, my bad.
My fault.
Accountability. Love it. Love it.
Absolutely. Well, if you're going to preach it, you got to practice it. So
amazing.
there it is.
And quite an amazing feat for the Leafs penalty kill, which I believe is, 9th or 10th in the league?
It's top 10, and it's been top 10 almost all season. And Polak usually leads Leafs defensemen in terms of shorthanded time on ice. So you're missing your top PK defender, or at least your coach's preference, and you got to kill almost 7 straight minutes. Eric Fehr's first game as a Leaf.
Apparently breaks a finger. He was seen in a cast
today. Is it official
today.
that he broke a finger? I know he was in a cast. Doesn't necessarily mean
never
anything.
official.
It's never a good thing.
It's an upper body injury.
Oh, well, that's fair.
It's it's not fair to him. It really is.
No, he played great. I didn't realize he was that big. Either.
He's a big boy, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy. I think he had 4 hits in the first 10 minutes of the game.
It's so funny when we got him, it was like everybody talked about him as though he was this useless, piece of garbage.
Yeah, and then you look at his numbers, you look at his resume, and you go, no. Okay, that's not an all-star, but you can use him.
Yeah.
You can use him.
And at $2 million, that's very useful. I don't know. It doesn't seem that bad.
I have zero problem keeping him next year. No
Right.
problem.
And an easy guy to expose.
Yep.
No doubt Vegas probably looked at that if McPhee saw that game and thought, that's a guy I'd like.
I mean, okay.
He's a useful piece.
I'm not just saying this as a Leafs fan who wouldn't mind seeing Eric Fehr get drafted in the expansion draft, but if Vegas chooses to go young, which would probably be smart, yeah, bring in a guy like Eric Fehr to lead the bunch or be one of your team's leaders. Why not?
And a little bit later on the show, we actually have some stuff on Vegas, specifically who they're looking for in free agency in the KHL. It's kind of interesting stuff. So that was the first that was a major, I think, moment for the Leafs.
Yeah.
Both teams are on back-to-back nights, but both teams are on their first night of back-to-back nights. And Columbus is one of the best teams in the NHL this year, to the surprise of, I think, most.
Oh, we spent most of the summer talking about how dumb they were.
Right.
And management is terrible. And when is Kekalainen going to get fired? And should he be to blame? It's the president. And they're at 100 points and counting. They're okay.
They're okay.
Blue Jackets will be okay.
I wondered when I was watching this if it was kind of like, because that game really, it could have gone either way. If that Kadri goal is called back, that's a different game.
If the Kadri goal is called back, if Columbus is able to roll with the momentum of tying it up 2-2, if they score 1 on the power play, because, man, they could have scored
5.
How many? Yeah, it's a continuous power play. Yeah, that game could have gone south for the Leafs real quick.
I wondered, too, if Tortorella looks at that game and goes, damn, that's 2 points we could have had and should have had. But
he was a little mad.
He was a little mad.
He was a little mad. He was mad. So he was freaking out after the Polak penalty. And I'm like, why is he so mad? Polak got the max he could have gotten. The reason he was so mad, apparently, was the lack of calls heading into that play, like to that point in the game. So maybe if there were a couple more calls and went against Toronto, maybe Polak's a little more hesitant, wants to stay out of the box, and that hit never happens. But that's a whole lot of ifs and buts.
Right. Yesterday, we saw, and I'm going to start with this. William Nylander scores a goal and an assist. 20 goals. Unlocks some performance bonuses, which we're going to get to, and for points. So according to Chris Johnson,
who has just been unreal with
the
this
Cap.
stuff.
He's been amazing with this.
Yeah. You know what? Brilliant of him, too, because it's been so hard to get information out of the Leafs. Dollars and cents, it takes a little bit of work, but you can track it. You don't necessarily need sources for that. So he's doing a good job.
He's doing his work. He's putting in the work.
He's a good guy. He shows up every day and good things happen.
Chris Johnson, William Nylander earns a $212,000 bonus, $212,500 bonus, excuse me.
Yeah, they're all bonus. That weird number for some reason.
20th goal of the season, that's the number. So that $212,500. He is one assist shy of another $212,500 bonus. So in a back-to-back night, he could make about $420,000 or $425,000 in if you count both nights together.
We know a story, Adam. We were told a story one night somewhere about a rookie who didn't manage to hit 20.
Really? I don't remember.
In Whitby?
Oh, yes. By an NHL source.
So I don't want to. I won't say the names. I'll keep the names.
That's a good story.
It's a really good story. I don't know if I've
and how we ran into this person at this particular bar.
I just went, "Are you?" And he goes, "Are you?" And I was like, "What?" So we grew up in roughly the same. Yeah. I don't want to give it away.
You won't.
Anyway.
There's enough people that are from our area.
Yes, yeah, you're right, Jesse. So anyway, there's this player. He's a rookie, hasn't scored, or he might not even be a rookie. He's on his entry-level contract, and he gets a fat bonus. I think it was the $212,000 one if he hits 20 goals. Well, it's the last game of the season. They're nowhere near a playoff spot, and he's on 19. He's on 19 goals. So he's like, guys, feed me tonight. Feed me passes. I got to get my 20. I got to get my 20. So, of course, everyone, just to be a jerk to this kid, they ignore him and they don't give him any passes. So it's second intermission. They're heading into the third. And I don't know if this is illegal, but whatever. I'm not saying the names. He goes, whoever gets the assist on my 20th goal gets $10,000. I'll give 10 G's to. And that's only a tiny percentage of the bonus, so screw it. Yeah, I'll give 10 G's to whoever sets me up. So, most of the team still ignores him, but this one guy on the team's like, man, I could use 10 G's. All right.
Everybody can use 10 G's.
It was sauce, just the whole period, just feeding him. And then he feeds him. He's got a wide open cage, misses the net. Completely misses the net. And then after the game, so the kid doesn't get his 20, and the guy marches up to him. He goes, I still want my $10,000. I gave you that 20th goal, and you pissed it away. I want my $10,000. So if you think these guys don't know those milestones and bonuses are right there, they know. If you had $200,000 plus at stake, I think you would know about it. You might have that on a sticky note somewhere in your locker.
So William Nylander is one assist shy. If he gets his assist tonight, he gets another $212,000.
Would that be the .73 points per game?
No, we're
bonus?
not there yet.
We're not even there yet.
Come on, let me
right.
walk this. Right. We'll walk you all through this. Nylander is also 6 points shy of another $212,000. So if he has a couple points tonight, a couple points over the next week, we're talking about 10 days, and he's made $600,000 extra dollars.
And dude continues his 9-game point streak, which ties a Leafs franchise record.
Bingo! If he hits all of those, he'd max out his Schedule A rookie bonuses. If he gets one more of the following, he'll get another.
Wow.
.73 points per game, which he currently has.
Yeah, Mitch Marner has already guaranteed
Clinched that.
himself that.
Finished top 3 in plus minus among team forwards, which is a really stupid. They're going to change that.
Pretty dumb.
Finished top 6 in ice time among team forwards, which I believe he might have. Or make the NHL end of season all rookie team. I think the most likely of those things to happen is the .73 per game.
No, the rookie team.
You don't think? Well, I don't know.
See, what wing
But
does
the
Laine
.73
play?
thing is basically set in stone.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna happen.
He'll probably get
The all rookie team
2
though,
for
Marner and Matthews I see, but then he's got to go up against a guy like Laine.
Well, what wing does Laine play?
Isn't he a right winger?
Isn't Marner a right winger?
Oh,
Yeah. Nylander's on the left.
that is some BS for.
No, I think Nylander's on the right too. I'm not sure. I mean, it sucks because a lot of these guys play both throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they would just be like, you know what, Marner, Matthews, Laine. Doesn't that seem like a pretty foregone conclusion?
I would put Nylander in there too. Can they have a spare?
Yeah, how does the team work? Is it just
There's
5
only
guys?
5. They just pick 5 guys.
Okay.
No, in 2D.
Well, yeah, 5 guys.
Oh,
3
yeah.
forwards, 2.
But
2D.
no, it's not like they go.
Well,
you know
6
what?
guys, I guess.
5 forwards were the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No,
Yeah.
no. It's right. They pick
Yeah.
positionally the best.
And Matt Murray, I assume, is a lock.
Zach Werenski.
Zach Werenski is pretty much a lock.
Matt Murray, Zach Werenski. I don't know who the other defenseman would
trying
be.
to think of another. Maybe Chikrin.
Maybe.
No, I'm just trying to think of
What about
rookie
Nikita
defenseman.
Zaitsev?
Oh my God.
Which, by the way,
The
we'll get
Leafs
to.
are pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
we could have a couple guys on the all rookie team. You hope.
When did this happen?
You hope
When
that
did this happen?
if Laine's a right winger and Marner and Matthews are right wingers, they can move, not Marner and Matthews, Marner and Nylander, they can move one of them over to the left.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, we saw with Ovechkin a few years ago. It doesn't really matter.
The team, the Leafs, and this is where it's a little bit of trouble, but I think it's good trouble. The Leafs could end up paying as much as $5.5825 million in bonuses this season, which would be the second highest total ever. That 5.3 would be deducted from what they're permitted to spend under the salary cap ceiling next season. That means they go into next season basically paying $5.3 million to nobody.
Yeah. Well,
Now they do
since
have
when has that been a problem?
But they do have LTIR.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people are like, "Oh, the Leafs are being so irresponsible with the cap." Believe me, I'm raising my eyebrows too. This is weird, but
And Steve does have thick eyebrows.
They're caterpillar.
There's 2 very thick eyebrows raised at the Leafs right
very
now.
Roman face with the big
Very
schnoz too. Believe me, I know what I look like. Anyway, I don't know if they headed into the season expecting them to be quite this good, the rookies, but B. I have a hard time believing a team with Brandon Pridham and Lou Lamoriello and Kyle Dubas and Brendan Shanahan and Mark Hunter. Like, I just have a hard time believing this group that has earned the benefit of the doubt, I think, from a lot in the fan base. I have a hard time believing they would be that irresponsible with the cap. There has to be a plan here. Now, here's just off the top of my head money they're spending on players who will not be on the team next year. Okay? Mm-hmm. So Jared Cowan was negative against the cap this year. Next year he goes to being positive against the cap.
What's that mean?
So he will count $750,000 towards the cap next year.
Okay. So now we're up to $6 million.
Yeah. So Tim Gleason is 1.8.
We're still paying Tim Gleason?
Yeah, I think it's 1.8 million against the cap. Phil Kessel is 1.2 against the cap, forever and ever, amen. Who am I forgetting? Then there's Horton Lupul, not Robida anymore, Horton Lupul. But those guys will come back in LTIR, so you see how complicated that is. Brooks Lake comes off the books entirely. There's no
Milan Mahalik, Colin Greening.
Mahalik, Greening.
Polak, Hunwick.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean you don't know about that? Oh, you mean do you think they'll re-sign them?
Possibly.
Well, yeah, fine.
And there are situations where, and I'm going to drive some people nuts, there are scenarios where I would be okay with the Leafs bringing back Polak and Hunwick. That involves with a haircut to Polak's 2.25. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. That's too much.
And Hunwick's making 2.
Plus, you got to give Hyman a raise.
Was it 1.2? Oh, I thought it was 2. Sorry.
No. You got to give Hyman a raise. It was for 2 years. That's why. You got to give Hyman a raise. You got to give Brown a raise. And you got to give Zaitsev a raise. He's going to get more. So
Well,
pretty interesting little cap situation.
If Hunwick and Polak are your 7-8, you're okay with that?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with...
Or you're 6-7?
You know what? It's not popular to say they've looked good recently, but they've looked good recently, I thought. And yeah, they've been super sheltered, but I have faith that the Leafs young guys are going to get better. Doesn't Connor Carrick look so good?
So good.
He's come back.
It's a breath of fresh air seeing him back in the lineup. You really notice it.
Marchenko's got another year in his contract if he doesn't get claimed. Marinson you can bring back, and I'm sure it would probably be cheap. It'd be cheap. Would it be good?
Marison's signed through next year.
I think he's an RFA, isn't he?
No, he's RFA in 2018.
What's he making?
1.25.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. He's not playing every night, though. And I want my players making over $1 million to play every night.
Right. Okay, so we've got that situation. Auston Matthews, by the way, this is very, very interesting. So this is according to Chris Johnson's same article. Realistically, the Leafs are probably going to pay somewhere in the neighborhood of $2.4 million. He said no lower than $2.4 million when it comes to these total bonuses, which isn't as bad as 5.3. Where it ultimately ends up hinges on how many more goals Auston Matthews scores before the end of the regular season. He is the only player on the roster with a Schedule B bonus, which would pay him an extra $2 million if he finishes among the NHL's top 10 goal scorers. It could be close. Now, hold up on that. Would you like to know where Auston Matthews sits? Take a guess.
Yes.
How close is he to being in the top 10?
I think I thought he was in.
Okay, where do you think he sits?
9th.
Jesse.
How many goals does he have?
He is 34? 33.
33.
I know he was like 7th, and then he went on that little 7 or 8 game skid. But then he's bagged 2 or 3 since
I'm going to
then.
say he's 6th.
You say 6?
Yeah.
Steve was correct.
Oi!
Sits at 9th. 1 goal ahead of 3-time 30 goal scorer Patrick Kane.
He has more goals than Ovechkin, doesn't he?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, now how many goals up on 11th is he? That's the most important number.
It's about, I think it's 3 or 4. I think there's a bit of a drop.
Just saying.
It really is surprising when you look at Auston Matthews, because I don't know if people even have, I don't know if maybe people have, I don't know if I've really let it sink in and just how good he is and just how much he's meant. 9th, imagine a Leaf player ever being 9th in goal scoring.
So I did an article very early in the season. I think it was like Leafs' 2nd or 3rd game of the season. And I did the top 100 Leaf scorers since Matt Sundin left the Leafs, which I thought was a clever article. And after Austin's 4-goal game, he put himself in the top 100. He put himself in. I would love to rewrite that and see. It'd be almost the entire roster.
Yeah.
Would be on the list.
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad list. I think you only needed like 4 points.
For someone who loves the Leafs, you sure point out the bad stuff a lot. The trade trees are almost exclusively Toronto Maple Leaf bad.
You know why?
Stinkers.
It's easier to track the more recent trades, and the more recent trades suck because it led to a bad team.
Can you maybe pick another team sometime and do a trade tree for that?
Okay,
Vancouver?
Everyone who tweets me. I'll try that.
Yeah. Are you going to bring up that stat you asked me about yesterday?
Yes, okay. I am. Don't worry. I'm getting to it. Sportsnet stats, by the way, at SN Stats.
They're so good.
On Fuego last night. Yeah. They were on fire.
Flambe.
You got to check out if you're interested in the Leafs rookie bonus situation. Chris Johnson did a full-on article and a video on it at sportsnet.ca. It's really great. I recommend you check it out. So
and sorry to just cut you off and give a little bit more to CJ. So he does that game in Columbus. He hates that stupid cannon. Mm-hmm. I think he flies out of Columbus either this morning or last night. So he worked very late last night, and I see him tweeting news at 8:30 this morning. Guy hasn't done a lot of sleeping in the last little bit.
So Chris Johnson is not one of those about to rock?
No, he is certainly not one of those about to rock. He hates it.
Wow.
I would love to be with him just one time, like in Columbus, and just see how he reacts.
I just like being around Chris. He's just a great guy.
So
easy to get along with. Yeah, so positive. And it's so funny. And just some backroom knowledge. There are very few people in the entertainment and sports industry who are positive. Most people
Wow.
are angry and cynical, right? I mean, it's
Look
just
at Jesse, for example.
Jesse's
dare
very
you.
positive. Jesse's very positive, but you don't like, and I don't mean it like, I don't mean like it's a bad thing, but sometimes people just get grumpy, right?
I think it's every industry.
Maybe
It's every industry.
Chris
But
is just a good guy to be
this all
around.
started with me cutting you off.
Sportsnet stats on the Willie record that William Nylander set last night. And again, this is where Sportsnet stats is on fire. And I'm going to get to that stat that I told you, Jesse. William Nylander ties the Leafs rookie record by recording a point in 9 straight games, matching Gus Bodnar
Yeah.
in the fourth year of World War II, 1943-44.
Holy smokes.
And
Ridiculous.
Dan Doust, the year before Michael Jackson. The same year Michael Jackson.
Dan Dow.
Is that his Doust?
I think so.
Okay. Well, Dan Doust. It's spelled Doust, so it's going to be
Dan Smith.
Doust. And Dan doesn't matter. The year that
Daniel,
Michael
so what is you
Jackson.
doing? Sorry, what?
The year that Michael Jackson came out with Thriller, 1983. Wow. That's amazing. So, third and fourth year of World War II.
Those are very different comparables. Adam.
Yeah. So then we've got
Wow.
William Nylander currently, and we got to take a break here in a second. 20 goals, 34 assists, 71 games played. Do you remember when the Leafs had to trade him?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
20 goals, 34 assists. He just turned 20.
You know what? William at all points during the season has looked at least good. For most of the season, though, he looked good. And Matthews and Marner looked beastly. Now, doesn't it actually feel like a true three-headed monstrosity that the Leafs have?
Can we put them all on one line?
I don't know if there's enough pucks. Like, there would not be enough
I
pucks.
guess they can all play with one,
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like having Tom Brady and Peyton Manning on the same team. Like, you couldn't
Yeah,
pass the
doesn't make
football
sense,
around
yeah.
enough.
Two quarterbacks?
Yeah. So we got to take a break with that. When I come back, a Sportsnet stat that is going to blow your mind about Auston Matthews and William Nylander, and another one about the Leafs scoring. A couple more about the Leafs scoring punch. Specifically, the Leafs are so potent on offense this year that they hold a particular lead in the NHL that you're not going to believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to know.
Greatest franchise ever. They sit first.
Other than that, yeah.
Jesse, he's teasing.
It's Sportsnet 590 The Fan. We'll be right back. Okay, so let's talk again about how on fire Sportsnet stats were last night.
Fuego.
When all of these things happened. So Sportsnet Stats tweeted yesterday as well about William Nylander and Auston Matthews and the record that they hold. They now hold a record.
Together.
And Mitch Marner is 3 goals away from holding this record outright with them. Auston Matthews and William Nylander are the first pair of Leaf rookies to score 20 goals in a season since Wendell Clark and Steve Thomas did it in 1985-86.
Steve Thomas.
Yep.
Wow.
That season, Clark scored 34. Thomas had 20. Marner. So, and what's funny about that is Nylander's got 20. Auston Matthews has 33. So it's almost identical. Whoa. Crazy, right? Marner has 17 goals. He needs just 3 more. Sportsnet stats on how powerful the Leafs scoring punch is. Did you know that the Leafs are the only team in the NHL with 5 players with 50-plus points?
The only team?
Only team. As of that tweet yesterday before the game.
You know what? So here, what's that stat again?
The Leafs are the only team in the NHL with 5 players with 50-plus points.
So I think I saw a stat. This is the first time the Leafs have done that since, I want to say it was like...
It was 2005, 2006.
And they didn't even make the playoffs that year.
Can you name those players?
From that team?
Ooh.
Sundin.
Yeah. Sundin, Jason Allison.
Jason Allison for sure. Lindros?
He was
Well,
hurt
no.
too much.
Yeah, he was only played 33 games.
He was good.
He was good. Sundin Lindros,
Jeff O'Neill?
definitely.
I don't know
Who
about
was-
definitely.
who was-
Just give us a look.
Who was
Caberlet?
Give me your 5, and I'll read the actual
You know what?
5.
McCabe had a wicked season that year. That was
Yes.
the year he almost won the Norris.
Yeah, so McCabe, Caberlet,
For a
Sundin.
while.
So McCabe, Caberlet, Sundin. Who was the other one?
Jason Allison.
Jason Allison. Those are for sure.
Jeff O'Neill.
I'm going to say Jeff O'Neill as well.
And
I can't remember who was even on
and
that team.
Shrapov.
The one you got incorrect was Jeff O'Neill. It was Darcy Tucker.
Oh, right. Darcy.
Sundin, McCabe, Caberlet, Tucker, Allison all had 50-plus points in 2005-2006.
Can you name the players that currently, and Jesse did this correctly yesterday, and I can vouch for that, who have 50-plus points on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Marner for sure. Matthews for sure. Nylander for sure. Kadri for sure. JVR?
Correct.
Yeah!
Well done. Both got it. Sportsnet stats again on just how powerful the Leafs scoring punch is. Auston Matthews and Nazem Kadri are the first pair of Leaf centers with 30 goals in a season since Daryl Sittler and Bill Derlago in 1980-1981. I believe that is the second season that the Edmonton Oilers were in the NHL.
Wow. Bill Derlago was I believe, a 4th overall pick, and Daryl Sittler 1st overall.
Was he good?
Bill Derlago?
Yeah.
He had a couple good seasons.
I can honestly say I've never heard of him.
It's a horrendous era that most Leaf fans just kind of ignore.
I had a very strange encounter with him one time.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was at the inaugural 5-hole for food, or maybe the second annual one.
Mm-hmm.
5-hole for food.
5-hole for food. It's when we get together at. No, the first one wasn't at Yonge Dundas Square. So the first one that we had at Yonge Dundas Square, where we just play ball hockey games.
And it's for the, Canadian Food Bank?
It's for a variety of food banks throughout
So you bring
Canada.
food, you play road hockey.
So on the Toronto leg of it, I think it was like the Daily Bread, or it was the one where you can donate perishables because they give them away fast
So
enough.
did you bring lasagna or?
I brought a fresh baked lasagna. I don't remember what I did. I brought something. Anyway, so you play for charity, and Bill Derlago comes up. I was introduced to him, and he's this one of those older He's looked like he has old man strength, sort of, but he's got all his hair and it's jet black, but with a little bit of salt and pepper in there. He's got his glasses, and I think he had a dart. And
80s players, man, they all smoked.
Wait, no, this wasn't at 5-hole for food. So I've met him twice.
Steve,
I met him twice. No, shut up.
Who cares?
Shut up. I care. This wasn't. I've met him twice.
What color were the walls
It was at a golf course.
What color were the walls painted? Was the grass? Would you say the grass was nice?
What year was this?
Were you using your own clubs at the golf course or the golf course's clubs?
That Thriller came out.
No, it was the second year of World War II. Second year of World War II. Anyway, so someone introduces me to him, and this is Steve. He does videos on Leafs TV for us, and he just looks at me, and he kind of like smiles while he's taking a drag. He goes, "Yeah, I know you. You're not hurting nobody." And I was just like, whoa. He reminded me a lot of...
What does that mean?
He reminded me of the comedian from Watchmen. Have you seen that?
Yes,
I was just like,
I had to think for a second.
I was like, I can't tell if... I think that might have been the coolest moment of my entire life. To that point, I was just like, whoa.
Can I be honest? There's men of a certain generation that I, as a man of this generation, do not understand. Like, and it's from that generation where, like, they say something like that, and you're like, so what does that mean?
I don't.
They're like masters of the phrase that sounds cool, but you're not really sure exactly what they mean.
Am I his friend now? Was that dismissive? Did he threaten me?
Yeah.
I don't
What is that?
actually understand.
What is that?
Yeah, you're not hurting nobody. It's just like...
They always seem
Thank
to
you,
be
Mr.
wearing
Delaney.
sunglasses inside.
Yes.
Those guys.
They are the sunglass inside generation,
Yeah.
for sure.
And they have to have a dart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they're probably very tanned. Mm-hmm. I imagine Bill Derlago was pretty tanned.
A little bit tan.
And they like dyeing their hair.
Did
They
he
don't
have
go gray.
No, his testosterone level kept it black this whole time.
Yeah.
was he wearing a golf shirt?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Adam, you're asking me for all the pertinent details.
Where did this take place?
It was at Rick Vive Golf Tournament.
No,
a
the
few
reason
years
I'm
ago.
asking, there's a reason I'm asking, because guys in that generation, when they're with their golf shirts, they never do a button up. Like, it's just chest hair.
They just let you, just to make you aware of what a man I am.
Yeah.
Here's the
There's
shag
more.
carpet I have on my chest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Selleck learned from me. Like it's that sort of absolutely. Anyway,
yeah, Ron Burgundy.
So we have all of this happening, all of these records set yesterday. By the way, congratulations to Nazem Kadri, who is now officially only 2 seasons behind 3-time 30 goal scorer Patrick Kane. Being in that level. I can't wait till Nazem Kadri will be one of the top 100 players of all time because that's all it takes.
How about Auston Matthews? He's done it as a rookie.
Wow. Damn.
Best American playing in the NHL today.
Oh, God.
There we go. Throwing it. Gauntlet thrown down. Thrown down.
Well, the points might back you up on that.
How many
The truth backs me up.
How many crows are you going to eat if Patrick Kane wins the Art Ross? He's like 4 points back.
I know. Listen, we're doing it to bug Chicago fans. We're being obnoxious for a good reason.
See,
people know we're joking. I think.
I don't think so.
My argument started with he's very, very good, but he shouldn't be top 100. But it has evolved to the more fun option, which is screw this guy.
3-time 30 goal scorer.
Yeah, 3-time 30 goal scorer. Wow. You got Nikolai Kulemin beat. Yeah, he's got him beat.
I don't think it's funny, guys. I think he's a really good player.
There will be tweets that don't find it funny.
I think he's really talented, deserving of every accolade he gets.
Okay.
Wow.
Top 50 player ever.
He's not even the best former London Knight.
Well, that's why Jesse likes him.
Mitch Marner, Nazem Kadri, they're all better. Yeah, that is why.
He's a former
Because he's got
London
that London Knight blood.
Yeah.
No London Knight can do any wrong.
Or has.
They've never done anything wrong ever.
The list is a little bit less flattering than you might think.
No wrong.
Well, that's according to London.
Jesse loves Corey Perry.
Yeah, Corey Perry is the kind of player that Jesse wants on his team for sure.
Jesse refers to Corey Perry as the guy who carries Ryan Getzlaf.
Corey Perry, who I believe still has less than 10 goals this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
No. Whoa.
He's had a rough.
It's not about goals, Adam.
Can we look up Corey Perry's stats just so I
character
make sure I'm
he brings
right
to
on
the
that
team.
one?
Wow.
Because it's been bad. It's been a rough year for him. It's not that he's a bad player. It's just been a rough year, I think. So where does this leave us? Toronto's big win against Columbus. We're going into New Jersey tonight. No idea who's starting, although I hope it's
McElhinney.
It is McElhinney? Okay.
Yeah. Corey Perry has 14 goals.
He now has 14
and
goals.
32 assists.
Okay, so he's
He is
coming
an
back.
all-star.
He was an all-star?
Dude, I think
He
he's
is an
behind
all-star
Marner
in
in
my
goals and assists.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
So where does that leave us? The Leafs leapfrog Boston. Now they're third in the division with a game in hand, which is very important, assuming that they win tonight in Jersey. They're going to make that game count, right? Remember, gaming hands are just chances. They're just draft picks. You got to make sure you draft well with them.
Islanders had a real hard-fought win against the Rangers last night.
They
too.
sure did.
Sportsnet showed the tail end of that game. Oh, the Rangers had so many damn chances.
And should be embarrassed. The Islanders walked in and beat them in their own building.
You're right. You pieces of garbage.
Yeah, where the hell
Thanks
was the
for
help?
nothing.
Where's the help? Rangers.
Zuccarello with that penalty. Oh, you jerk.
So the Islanders have 80 points. They sit on the outside looking in with 80. Tampa has 77. So the spread between the Leafs and Tampa is now 5. A little more breathing space. Not done yet,
Not a
though.
lot.
It ain't done. So
That's like losing one notch in your belt and going, I don't need to work out ever again. I'm good.
That what that's like?
Yeah, sure. As someone who has done that no less than 1,000 times, yes.
So the Leafs.
I'm super good at losing weight and putting it back on immediately. I'm really good at it. It's like the thing I'm best at.
Dare I say that the Leafs win tonight, or the Leafs game tonight in Jersey is a must-win.
Dude, they're all must-wins.
Yeah.
They are all must-wins.
They're all must-wins.
But this one, I think, even more so.
Look at the schedule coming up.
Well, and that's what I was going to get to, because this is 2 points that, in theory, and I'm not saying playing any NHL team besides the Avalanche is easy this year.
And the Leafs lost.
And the Leafs lost
against
to Avalanche.
them, so.
But, especially on your second night, but you got to go into New Jersey and you got to get these 2 points because...
Well, it's in Toronto. So that's
Well,
good.
that's right. You got to go back. Don't go into New Jersey looking for them
Don't-
because they're in Toronto. You will not find them in New Jersey. They're not there. Saturday, the Leafs are in Buffalo, who always play them hard. Always play them
Especially
hard.
in Buffalo.
Buffalo might not be in the playoff picture per se,
No, but they got Jack Eichel back.
and they're a dangerous team.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday night in Florida. Tuesday night at home to Florida, who whooped them 7-2 last time.
That'll be fun.
And
That'll
then
be
Thursday next week against Nashville, who are also fighting, but I wouldn't say they're fighting for their playoff lives, because here's the deal.
Fighting for seeding.
Yeah, they currently hold the second wild card spot in the West, but they are 8 points up on Los Angeles, who are ninth.
Wow.
So
Poor guys, man.
they're probably just fighting with Calgary on who gets to play Chicago and who gets to play San Jose. Now Calgary,
terrible choice.
yeah, it's brutal. I don't know who you take in that, but if you finish last, you're playing Chicago. Like if you
my
finish
God.
eighth, you're playing Chicago.
I think I would rather play Chicago, actually.
Would you?
I think so. I
Okay.
feel like because there's so much more rookie laden. You know, I feel like
Right.
over a series, I could maybe pick that apart a little bit better than the Sharks.
But there's a guy on that team that scored 30 goals 3 times.
Well, I think there's 2.
He'd be a danger.
But enough about Marian Hossa. I want to talk about the other 2 guys that they have. Look. Chicago fans have just gone, I'm turning this off. It's crap.
It is way too much fun. Here's honestly.
Disrespect.
So of course we've got Nashville in that second wild card spot. They definitely want to get ahead of Calgary and or Edmonton. Here's what happened in Anaheim last night. Anaheim Ducks beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3. This is a big deal.
Despite an amazing McDavid goal.
I was gonna say, what an incredible goal. Anaheim and Edmonton go into last night's game tied for 87 points in the Pacific, second place.
Dude, who was in net? I believe it was JB.
I believe it was Jonathan Bernier as well.
Dude, Leafs fans rejoice. Do not get upset that Jonathan Bernier is experiencing success because they might pull a second rounder out of the ashes. Like, it's possible.
Anaheim now has 89 points, and they are second in the division, clearly now. This is likely the first round matchup for the Pacific Division, unless Calgary with 86 points leapfrogs Edmonton, which could very easily happen as well. And then you've got Edmonton versus San Jose or Chicago.
I love this time of year.
It's crazy.
It's, oh, God.
Cam Talbot pulled after 4 goals on 18 shots. Todd McClellan,
A rarity.
not happy.
A rarity.
Yeah.
For him.
Todd McClellan had full Todd McClellan face last night.
Ooh.
It was intense.
Not a lot of coaches with happy face.
No.
A lot of them have pissed off face.
Glenn Galutzin, to me, again, I always go back to him. He looks pretty he looks pretty miserable.
No.
He looks pretty. You should edit that so it says he looks pretty.
Pretty bleeping miserable.
He looks pretty. And then there's Tortorella, who has happy mad face,
Yes.
which is scary.
He's so mad, he's laughing.
Pat Burns had a variation of happy mad face.
Happy mad face. Tortorella's...
When you see a smile, but you're scared by it because you know there's no happiness behind that smile.
Tortorella is so intense that when he gets mad, even if he doesn't have a tan, it looks like he does. like it's unbelievable the way he does it. Like, I feel like he's permanently red because he just is.
I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
It's true.
That's that Italian skin, Adam.
It's absolutely. You know what I mean, though? Like, he just has that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
We have to go on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. In the online portion, we've got a lot to talk about, including a Team USA women's team update. Again, they have pulled out of the World Championship for now.
Yep.
We'll see how that negotiation is going. Also, Gary Bettman saying, the NHL is probably not going to the Olympics.
I can't wait to talk about what Gary Bettman's talking about. Hooray!
And
Good.
who Vegas could be signing in the offseason from the KHL.
No. Can we cut that segment short so we can talk about Gary a little bit more? I want to know what lawyers are saying.
This is the Steve Dangle podcast on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, brought to you by Panago Pizza. It is what is on the inside that counts. You can download us anywhere, like SoundCloud, like Sportsnet.ca, like iTunes.
You're not going to want to miss this lawyer talk. Adam, you know the runner that falls right before the finish line? We were within 5 minutes of the end of the radio segment. You had to say "fuck," didn't you?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know. Sometimes I get so comfortable.
Don't you dare, Jesse. So Jesse just showed me an eBay. That is a $174.99, so $175 American Patrick Kane London Knights jersey.
Wow.
If you
buying
buy
it?
that,
Are you buying
I
it?
will
But think about
never
the
be your
price.
friend.
It's about the cost of authentic Leaf jersey.
Yeah,
With,
it's not-
no
Dude,
Dude,
Is it
that
signed?
is a 200 and I'm
Is that
going to go with
signed?
$10 jersey. Plus shipping. Dude, you're going to pay like $250 to spite
Jesse,
me.
are you going to buy it?
Get Corey Perry, first of all. because
Why
screw
Corey
that
Perry?
guy. Because he used to be on the Knights and he's also a dick. But
Why would you get
as
a Mitch
far
Marner?
as I know, never under investigation.
I feel like Mitch Marner or Kadri would be a better choice.
Yeah,
Patrick Kane.
I think a little
Jesse.
bit of Kadri.
No, okay, listen, for everybody that's about to be outraged, Jesse's not actually going to buy a Patrick Kane jersey. Don't worry. All right, so let's talk about this. Team USA has postponed their training camp for the World Championships due to the ongoing dispute between Team USA women and... But now, here's the deal.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Here's the deal. Again, discussions on Monday were positive, but that's all we know. These things can be arduous.
Yeah.
If you want a really good take on it, Elliot Friedman talked to Cassie Campbell-Pascal about the Nagano Olympics in 1998. And here's a startling fact.
Which that was the first one, wasn't it?
That was the first one.
Were...
The IOC, and that's where the Team USA American women's team won.
Mm-hmm.
And
Canada was very upset.
Yes, and what's interesting is that that particular Olympics went ignored when they patched onto the jerseys Olympic medals or something that Team USA had won. So there's a whole controversy about that. Let me pull it up. I'm going to read it for you.
Well, and then I think it was in Salt Lake. Wickenheiser goes on that wicked rant.
According to several sources,
get enough press.
According to several sources, the last straw for the American women involved in the 2014 was on the 2014 Sochi Olympic sweaters. There was stitching on them recognizing gold medals won by the men in 1960 and 1980, but initially nothing highlighting the 1998 women's victory.
Oh.
So they were wearing a jersey that didn't even represent the fact that they'd... That's bad.
See,
that is so bad.
The Canadian men had a jersey with the same thing, but I don't remember how many.
But why? But if the Canadian men had it, and it was the Canadian men's wins, and the women had their own wins stitched on their jerseys, I would get that.
That makes sense.
But why would the American women only wear the men's patches and not have a woman's patch?
That doesn't make any sense,
right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez.
Anyway,
so Cassie Campbell brought that up.
Yeah. So that's a really interesting...
Cassie Campbell-Pascal.
Definitely go to 30 Thoughts. The blog, of course, is the best. But let's talk... So basically, they've put that on. There's no more updates. We'll see what happens. Gary Bettman says...
Sorry to cut you off. I think a lack of update in this situation is actually good. Because there's no PR managing. There's no public posturing.
They're talking.
They're actually talking. That is a guess.
The Monday meeting was 10 hours.
Yeah, that's just a guess of mine. But those are good symptoms.
What I forgot to say was at the Nagano Olympics, the men, the winning male team, which was the Czech Republic, got from the IOC, they got $1 million. The winning women's team got $50,000
to split. Gee, what the?
So that's what we're talking about. That's from the IOC. Now,
wow.
Speaking of the IOC, Gary Bettman says at this point we should count on the NHL.
That was the World Championships, by the way.
That was World Championships. Oh, I got that bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Gary Bettman says at this point we should count on the NHL not going to the Olympics. Yet another example of short-term business gains trumping long-term business growth. And quite frankly, out of step with fans and out of step with broadcasters. Broadcasters make huge money off of hockey at the Olympics, especially in Canada. And if they were broadcast properly in the States, would probably do the same as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Now, hold on here. John Shannon actually has a really great breakdown of what's about to happen. John says this after Gary Bettman's comments. He said, "So is this the end?" He said, "Far from it. This is just the beginning. Negotiations are about to begin. No more posturing." Now, he goes in, and I want to read this because I think it's...
good. You're like 2 months late. Like, wasn't there some deadline in January? God, these people just... they're exhausting.
So
they're just exhausting and soul draining.
Here are the two sides that are going head to head. Far to one side... Yeah. Far to one side, we've got the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, set in its ways and happy to spend other people's money, not just hockey's, for infrastructure and the glory of the Olympic movement. The formula has worked well for the IOC. Through the summer and winter games, scandal and deceit, doping and bribery, the Olympic movement just keeps chugging along. No reason to change, no reason to share the wealth. After all, if you change it for the NHL, then you got to change it for the other leagues and organizations that are involved, such as the NBA, the PGA, the LPGA, and both tennis governing bodies. If you pay hockey, you might have to pay for the other sports too. Good point. Far to the other side, you get the National Hockey League. The 31 owners and senior executive at the league who can't comprehend what the value of the Olympics are anymore if there isn't some sort of compensation or acknowledgement of hockey's best league. It goes beyond tickets and access or ability to use video footage. It is answering a simple question: what's in it for us? So those are the two sides that you got. Neither are innocent here. Neither have the best of intentions here. But at the end of it, who struggles? Who takes it on the chin if these guys can't come to an agreement?
And no disrespect to anyone in our listenership who fits this description, but every single person involved on either side is old as shit. They're just... we're talking about the future of the sport. So naturally, to decide that, we definitely need to have the past decide it.
What's interesting...
That seems to make the most sense.
What's interesting about getting to about that argument, and I'll say this, okay, so my parents they own a small place in Florida. Yeah. It's part of one of those communities that you have to pay, not only you pay your mortgage, but you pay condo fees too. It's not a condo, but they pay condo fees too to have your garden taken care of and that sort of thing.
Isn't
and some
that
maintenance
just property
stuff.
Tax?
No.
It's
Property
different.
tax is to the government. This goes to the condo collective or the collective of the neighborhood.
Cult. Okay.
It's a cult. Yes, they belong to a cult. They drink kombucha, sit in a drum circle. So they sit on the board at this particular one. And what's interesting is the young people newly retired. They come in and they go, well, okay, listen, when everybody's roofs have to change, everybody's roofs have to change at the same time. So if the roofs expire, they all expire together, and the collective has to come together and go, here are the types of roofs we're going to get. And this is what they just went through. You can get a clay roof, which is that Spanish-style kind of half circle, which lasts for 50 years. Or you can get the roofs that we have up here in Canada, which last about 20, and that is why does it escape me
the
roofing.
The grainy?
Yeah, why am I not...
I don't know.
Shingles.
Yes.
Shingles.
Yeah.
You can get those. They last 20, and they are half the price. But they only last 20 years. Whereas if you get these clay things, it's 50 years, nobody has to worry about it. And your property value goes up. The younger people that come in, people in their mid-50s to mid-60s, are like, well, sign me up. Let's do the more expensive option. That's great for my property value.
It's great for the long term.
The older residents who are 88, 89, 90 are like, what the hell is in it for me?
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't care. Let's go for the cheaper option because I only got a few years left anyway. And that's the thing. I think it becomes, and never having been old, I don't know that this is the case, but I think it becomes harder to look too far down the road when you get to that age.
How do you tell someone who's had two or three times the experience that you do that maybe they don't have the best perspective on it? It seems disrespectful, doesn't it?
It is disrespectful.
It is disrespectful, but...
What if you're right?
What if you're right?
And oftentimes...
I suppose we'll never know. Because no one's going to be like, 25-year-old, here you go.
I just hope...
You're in charge.
I hope when I get to that age, I'll at least be willing to listen. Because that's the most frustrating thing about being in the position we're in now.
And you don't know.
It goes beyond just the NHL. I think a lot of people in a lot of different businesses are facing this right now with the transition, the internet and stuff. Nobody in management who's been there, well, I've been doing this since 1970-something. Well, that's fine.
It doesn't mean anything in
this
happening today.
The economy's changed. The way we do business has changed, and nobody's listening to the younger generation who grew up in it.
Mom, Dad, stop taking selfies. It's only a few years away.
Yep.
Only a few years away.
Now, with this particular case, here's what I think the issue is. You've got the IOC.
Oh, right, we're talking about hockey.
The IOC, they go, we're king shit. And the NHL's going, no. We are king shit.
It is us who are, in fact, king shit.
King shit. So, who will wear the poop crown? It's Game of Thrones. But there's only two factions left. We're talking the Baratheons, not the Baratheons, they died out early. We're talking about the Lannisters.
Steve gets this.
I would say the Lannisters are the IOC.
Man, I've seen
and then you've got the Tyrells, who are the Starks are the good guys though.
There are no good guys on this.
No, there's no good guys
they
in
all
this.
Seem a little bit reprehensible.
Yeah, so the Tyrells, who are kind of sneaky, You like them, but kind of sneaky. The NHL, kind of sneaky. They're going head to head. Who's king shit here? Who's going to get the better deal? And I understand the IOC's business perspective. Why am I paying for the NHL? This minor sport in comparison to the LPGA, tennis bodies, NBA.
To go back to Game of Thrones, I think what we really need to focus on is the Targaryens. Because they're going to come out of nowhere and they're going to rule everything.
Imagine the KHL just came in and said, "We will do it. We will give everyone
who knows
teams."
if the Russians just pay for all of this.
All right, it's time for you to pay.
imagine.
Yeah, we will. Like now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like today. You have problem? You have problem?
You,
We figure, hey, comrade. Come.
yeah.
And then they just walk away.
Well, anyway, so here's the deal. Here's what I think, and I'm calling this right now. The NHL's going to the Olympics. Because Gary Bettman's not stupid.
No.
He's not stupid. He is not.
Yes, he is, and he may not go. They may not go.
I've met some of the guys that work at that office. They're not stupid people.
So I spoke to someone about this today. The NHL, yesterday when I wrote that thing that I wrote about them, and it challenged my perspective on the whole thing. The players are super duper banking on the fact that fans care. Fans say they care. I tweeted out a poll that last time I checked that over 6,200 people voted on. It was unbelievable. It was, if the NHL doesn't go to the Olympics in South Korea, will you be A, super mad, B, a little bit mad, C, meh, I don't care. 50% were like super mad. And then I think it was 20-30 split, I don't remember exactly how, between I'd be a little bit mad and I don't care. Now, I saw someone tweet it out, oh, see this? 75% would be
Mad or super mad.
But I took that as half of you don't care. Half of you don't really care. Okay, if you'd only be a little mad now, how mad are you actually going to be when the game is at 5, 6, or 7 a.m.?
Can I tell you
You're not going to be mad.
Can I tell you why I'm not going to be super mad? Even though I think they should go.
I think they should go.
Well, here's the thing. Every time you go to that tournament, you have to defend the title if you've won it, right? If we go to the Olympics,
who's we? NHL?
If the NHL goes to the Olympics, North American hockey players are allowed to go. Canada will have to defend its title. It's a tough thing to do. If they don't go,
it's just Canada. Canada will have a team,
and
they'll lose.
Yes, well,
so Canada will have lost.
But that's my point. Is it an accurate reading? No.
No, but they've lost.
So really, in my mind,
No.
title's defended. Just by not going.
No.
I don't know. It's inaccurate. It's totally inaccurate.
Yeah, like when the Blue Jays defended their World Series title when there was a lockout.
I'm not saying that this makes sense.
Reigning World Series champion.
But for 3 straight years, the Blue Jays were reigning World Series champions.
You're absolutely right.
And
Expos like to think that they won.
No, you didn't win.
Nuh-uh.
No. And I don't want to rub salt in that wound because I really desperately want them back. Listen, that was just totally being an obnoxious fan. I really do hope they go because it's so much fun to watch.
Now, the conversation I had yesterday was interesting. The NHL thinks they can avoid going to South Korea, which is the smaller Asian market, and they don't have to pay anything, and they don't have to adjust their schedule, and everything's A-okay. And then go back in 2022 and just go to Beijing and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And their argument was, well, the NHL isn't stupid and the IOC isn't stupid. They want the best athletes in the world to go. And if the best athletes in the world in hockey offer to go in 2022, you're not going to tell them no. You're not going to tell them no. But as I was about to hit publish, a tweet comes out saying that Renee Fassel, who I think is double IHF or IOC?
I think so.
I don't remember.
Double IHF.
I think it's double IHF. He goes, if the NHL thinks they can skip one Olympics and come to the next one, they have another thing coming. But I think it's a game of chicken there. I think that's the big thing. That's the big thing, is the NHL is banking on their ability to skip one Olympics. And yeah, okay, so what? We miss an Olympics in a big Asian market. We frame it as a comeback in the biggest Asian market. But I can't help but feel
China and Korea are completely separate entities. You can't just look at Asia as though it's one thing.
No, but
They're completely different cultures.
don't time zones matter a little bit? Like
Yeah.
in terms of viewership?
Well, I guess. I don't know. I just don't. I think that is very flawed thinking. That's like saying. That's like saying Colombia and Brazil are the same country.
I think the Olympics
Same
are different,
market.
though.
No, but if
You're getting the North American market for the Olympics, or you're getting the Asian market for the Olympics, and they want to go to China because that's the bigger Asian market.
Yeah, but does that grow the game in South Korea?
They don't want to do that.
Well, they should.
They're trying to
They
grow
should
it.
want to do that. That's the point.
They're trying to grow it in China.
They should. Here's the opportunity. You want to grow it in the Asian market? The next 2 Olympics are in the major Asian markets.
and the KHL has
South Korea and freaking China.
KHL has a head start. One, because they have a team in China. Now, granted, that's because the KHL is over there and they're able to
And apparently it's a mess, by the way.
yeah, spend money like
Red Star.
drunken oil
Is it
type-
Red Star Beijing or something?
Kunlun?
Kunlun? Okay.
I don't know. They made the playoffs though. That doesn't mean they're not financially a wreck. But
this doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. It's all you got to do is build some kind of fandom, and they're working on that. Then let's say the NHL doesn't go to the 2018 Olympics. The best players at those Olympics will be KHL players and Swedish players, but KHL players. Those will be the best players.
I can't wait to see the Tim Stapleton Team Canada.
Oh, he's
gonna
American.
Oh, damn.
I know. Travis Green stops coaching and he goes back to being third line center for Team Canada. And then 2022 comes along. And yeah, you'll wow them because the NHL players will obviously be better. But you're allowing other leagues, particularly the KHL, to build that goodwill and build the sport there.
They're going to go.
They're going to go.
You think they're going to go?
Here's why they're going to go. What's best for all involved?
Yeah.
The NHL will argue the best for all involved will be not going.
Okay, they'll argue that. But okay, forget what the NHL argues because
I think they're hell bent on making money off this thing.
okay, Steve,
That's what they see.
I get that, but listen to me honestly though.
Yeah.
And you were just saying
I agree with you, Adam. I think they should go.
then they're going to go.
No.
I think they're going to go.
No, because my argument is based on goodwill and growing the sport, which are theoretical dollars. You don't know. Might turn into nothing. Might turn into a lot. They want to be paid. They want to send an invoice, and you will pay us X amount of dollars and X amount of cents. And I don't think the IOC is going to give it to them.
Question for you guys. Have you gotten paid for every promotional thing you've done?
Yeah.
You ever done anything?
Except for the ones I agreed to do for free.
Right. Why did you agree to do things for free?
To build my brand. And begrudgingly.
I have to tell you, working in what I've worked in, you do a lot of stuff for free. Spent a lot of
NHL
Saturdays and
isn't gonna
Sundays working for free.
NHL isn't going to do it.
And
Adam, are you $1 billion industry?
I am not a billion-dollar
Adam,
industry.
the
But
NHL
that's the
can
point.
afford-
They're already making money. Why are you worried about it? It's 2 flippin' weeks.
I could go through this headache.
You know what? Both sides know. In the back of their minds, they know that it's best for all involved.
Yeah.
And you know what? And again, Gary Bettman is a dartboard, but so they skipped the Korean Olympics. 2022? Gives a fuck. He's not going to be around. He doesn't care.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, my God.
That's true, yeah.
Unless he's the Goodell bot, the bet bot. I don't know.
I mean, would that shock anyone?
That he's a robot?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Is the NHL capable of making a bad decision?
Yes.
Yes.
Then they might make one here.
Ooh.
But I think they won't. But they've clearly shown that they're capable of it, so it's definitely possible.
Let's talk about something else.
I think the majority. Okay, so this conversation will be, and I'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Will be frowned upon by many because the vast majority of people listening to this are like, yes, I'm going to watch the games. Again, you are a group of hardcore hockey fans.
True.
Most?
Not at 5 a.m. I'm not.
No. No one's a hockey fan at 5 a.m. Except for the European listeners going, fuck you! I got so many tweets from people going, the games start at 3 a.m. and I sleep during the day. And I'm like, man,
But again-
you're an outlier. You're an outlier. Are the streets just filled with zombie people going, oh, I was up all night last night watching hockey? No. No, they are not. So I honestly do not think they'll go to Korea. What will be the most interesting part, and we're not going to know for a long time, will the IOC tell them, fuck you, and not let them go to Beijing? I think just to make an example, that's exactly what should happen.
Well, that's what
it would be so damaging to the sport and league, but
that's what they should do. Business-wise, that's what you should do. Vegas, looking into a couple KHLers. Evgeny Dadonov and Vladim Dadonov, okay. And Vadim Shipchayev?
Vadim Shipachyov. I remember him too.
So the word is both free agents come with big money asks.
Give it to him.
So I guess Dadonov wants $3.5 million a year. Shipachyov wants $5.5 million a year.
What?
Yeah.
Now, can you give me their numbers? Is Dadonov a defenseman?
Let me look at the KHL.
The KHL has ruined my pronunciation of a lot of people. And by ruined, I mean fixed. But over here, you just... Isn't it weird that you sound like a prick when you pronounce things correctly?
Yeah, because you sound...
Radulov.
Yeah, so...
Radulov. Okay, fine. It's Radulov or you seem like a prick.
So he's got 11 points, but he's a defenseman. Dadonov.
Evgeny Dadonov.
And then we've got... I'm going to just look him up.
Vadim Shipachyov.
Who I guess was drafted at one point.
Steve, do you only know one language?
Yes.
Okay. Considered learning? Like Russian?
Oh, totally. I have an introduction to Russian book at home.
Oh, really?
It's a... Dude, learning a language is hard.
Okay, so in 87 games...
also, sorry to cut you off, Adam. Like French, okay, there's accents that you got to throw on it, but it's relatively similar to our tongue. Russian has sounds that we don't make.
No.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's got... I don't know how to do it.
I'm really glad you guys are talking about this right now, right when they're,
You cut us off. Okay.
Shipachyov has 76 points in 87 games this year, and I actually read the wrong stats for Dadonov.
Wait, how many games?
87.
He hasn't played 87. KHL season is not that long.
Well, that's what is posted, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe that includes playoffs.
Nope. It says 87 games
That's
for
wrong,
SKA St.
though.
Petersburg. Okay, well,
Okay.
76 points.
Okay.
26 goals, 50 assists. So pretty good.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Dadonov.
Played some games twice.
Dadonov had 66 points in 63 games. I
I
read
don't
the
even know
playoff
if they have
stats.
that many. Go to HockeyDB.
Dude, I'm looking at the KHL website.
Yeah, that site is a hunk of shit. Go to HockeyDB.
Okay, all right. You ready? All right, well, 53 games, so that's already changed.
There you go.
Dadonov, 66 points in 53 games. He is a third-round pick of the Florida Panthers in 2007. Shoots left from Chelyabinsk, Russia.
Chelyabinsk.
That's
the place that got hit with the meteor.
Yes. Home of Tractor.
Yes.
All right, and the other one... and
Tractor trailer?
Yes. Tractor trailer Chelyabinsk.
Okay, hang on here. This is so annoying. Why doesn't the
This is
KHL post
hilarious
its
to
own
me.
games played properly? I don't understand that.
Because make sites. We won't pay that guy who do highlights. We make better sites.
Shipachyov in 50 games this year, 76 points.
Oh, wow. So these players look much better now. I was like, wait, why would you pay that money? What the fuck is up with that? Anyway,
That's so ridiculous.
it's what those
Pretty
leagues,
ridiculous.
it's what the NHL and KHL have in common.
Their websites
Rough websites.
Interesting.
We fix website.
By the
think-
way, I should have an interview up on NHL.com tomorrow.
With who?
Emily Benjamin. Oh, yeah. We met at Starbucks the other day.
So, with those two, I think what's interesting about Vegas coming in now is, it's tough to fill out a roster with great players. Any elite players, forget it in your first season, except now what Columbus and Minnesota and Nashville and Atlanta didn't have was the KHL.
They had the Russian league, but I feel like rules were a little more difficult back then.
Seems like it.
Transfer agreement. One thing Vegas should have next year is cap space. So as long as these guys aren't asking for long-term deals and you're convinced it won't be a disaster, they don't even need to be totally worth it. They just need to be pretty decent for the money that you're giving them. I don't know what gives you the balls to think you're going to make more than Radulov this year, for example.
I think it's Radulov. Radulov, doesn't he make about 5.5?
He makes 5, I believe.
So I think it was Radulov's deal going.
Yeah,
well,
you're not going to
we're
make
gonna ask.
more than Radulov. But, I mean, if they look like they'll be serviceable players, because, like, I know you're an expansion team and there are certain casualties of being an expansion team, but you don't want to suck. You don't want to suck in your first year. You want to make a good first impression. So if you can prop your roster up in any way, do it.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to have the cap space.
Yeah, like there are a lot of players over in the KHL right now who are good enough to play in the NHL. And I think a big reason why a lot of them haven't come over is teams don't have the space for them. Vegas does. Could be an option.
Nick Kyprios reported that the New York Islanders and Barclays Center are in negotiations to extend the team's lease with that arena beyond 2018-2019. A lot of eyebrows were raised, and this according to Elliot Freeman, when reports that the Rangers and Sabres are going to play the 2018 Winter Classic at Citi Field, home of the New York Mets. James Dolan, who owns the Rangers, and the Wilpon family, who own the Mets, are involved in financing the Islanders' potential new arena deal at Belmont Park. A lot of weird coincidences apparently going on there.
Isn't Dolan the guy who owns the Knicks too?
Yeah.
I think so.
He was the guy who
He's
recently...
the one who tried to fight Charles Barkley.
Wait, Charles Barkley? No, wasn't it Charles Oakley?
Charles Oakley.
Man, you guys made that mistake in back-to-back episodes.
Yeah.
we?
You know
Yeah,
what?
Adam did it last show.
I'll fight Charles Barkley any day over Charles Oakley.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like you could push Barkley and he kind of just fall over.
Yeah.
He's an old man, but he's a big old man.
No, Charles Oakley's scary.
Yeah.
No.
Oakley
Yeah,
might
you don't
bite
want
your
to...
face off.
He, in the words of Jay Moore, you can't teach rage.
Yeah.
He looks mad.
God, I loved him when he was on the Raptors. Okay, quickly, I want to follow up on one story before we get to the press conference.
Okay.
Remember last episode, there was the soccer player who, in the South African Premier League, after a 2-goal game, thanked his wife and his girlfriend.
I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my girlfriend.
I asked you can listen back to the last episode to hear the audio. I asked you both, what would you say? You go home. What's your excuse?
Breaking news.
Really?
It's pretty
fucking
big
both of
news.
you right now. What?
Polak has been suspended for 2 games.
Whoa.
That is big breaking news.
See? That was worth it.
Alexei Marchenko just tweeted, "Oh no!"
Josh Olivo actually tweeted, fuck. So did Frank Corrado. Okay, so the guy who thanked his wife and his girlfriend in the same press conference, what do you go home and say? What's your excuse?
I had a good game today. I don't know. That was a terrible South African accent.
So his excuse was that he calls his daughter his girlfriend. That's his excuse.
And everybody said, "We believe you."
Because you're good at sports.
Kick the ball into the goal.
I mean, hey, he doesn't need to convince any of us. He's got to convince
one person.
the wife. Or the girlfriend who potentially doesn't know about the wife.
or his wife who doesn't potentially know about his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah?
I would hope not.
There's at least one person he's got to convince, and it ain't us. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Here's the thing. When we listened to that clip, it sounded like he corrected himself, right?
Yes.
So
if you just plow through that, and it sounds like you just... I've referred to my wife as my girlfriend a couple times. I've referred to her as my girlfriend for longer than I've referred to her as my wife. It's my defense.
But you never called her your wife and your girlfriend?
No, I've never called her both things. That's rough.
Right. All right. Well, let's do the press conference, shall we?
The presser.
First of all, I have a message from Jack. Should go bring it up on my phone. He writes, "Jesse, the last 3 years, I was a pizza delivery driver, I assume for Panago. And I want to say thank you for the countless hours of joy and laughter you all have brought me while on deliveries. I recently quit, but still listen every Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you for being the coolest producer out there." Oh, that was just for me.
But thank you for sharing.
There's a whole other part of the message is just for Jesse that he's not going to read on the show.
But yeah, you want to thank you guys?
Well, Jack, thank you.
Thank you, Jack. I'm jacked up that you messaged us.
I don't I'm done. I don't have anything. I'm so tired.
This from our Reddit page.
When you play poker and you have one jack, do you go, I got a pair of jacks?
You're one.
I would make that joke all the time. Did you know if you make that joke, your wife automatically gets pregnant? Sorry.
First question.
When you meet somebody, are you like, you don't know Jack?
Oh my God! Oh, I want to be his friend so bad! Do you know Jack?
No, you don't know Jack. You don't know Jack.
Oh my God! Can you imagine all of the jokes like his little league soccer coach made? Like, all right, Timmy on, Jack off.
Just to say it. Just to say it. It's good times.
How do you think? Here, this question is completely under. How do you think Roman Polak's suspension will affect the next two Leafs games?
Well, their PK is going to have to look a little different. So they made it up on the fly against the Blue Jackets. 2 good results.
It worked.
So that's pretty good. I wonder if they're a little less feisty because they're a little worried about taking penalties and going on the penalty kill. I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder
Probably
if
not.
with Connor Carrick back, if it changes things that much.
At 5-on-5, no, because Carrick has looked great, but I don't think he kills penalties.
But I'm just thinking maybe he might.
Yeah. The penalty kill tonight is going to be very strange because Sosh is still banged up. Fair cannot play. And
So
Polak's out.
Levo's got to be in, right?
I don't think Levo kills penalties.
No, but Levo's got to be playing tonight.
Oh,
right?
yeah, no, he is.
He is.
So he's confirmed as playing.
But he's fast enough to kill penalties.
Probably. Speed isn't exactly his strength. It's his shot. Connor Brown is a guy who doesn't always kill penalties, but sometimes
He
does.
did last night, and he did a great job.
Yeah, he'll probably get a jump. And I guess Riley and Hunwick would get a lot, and Marchenko and
See, that's my worry is Marchenko on him.
Zaitsev.
Penalty kill.
Marchenko Zaitsev. Unless it's Marincin playing.
I don't know.
Check Henny. See what Henny said. Gotta love Henny.
He always
Hey there,
knows.
Stevie.
In the meantime,
Love Paul Hendrick.
this question is
Great
from
guy.
our Reddit page. King Lochner 16 writes, I'm a big Blue Jays fan, but recently I bought a Washington Nationals hat because I like Bryce Harper. I was curious what you guys' thoughts are on buying other teams' gear. Is that a foul?
Weird. No, I
Not a
usually
foul. No,
I
no.
feel weird about it, but I own a few KHL jerseys. I own
a Tarasenko KHL jersey.
I own an Ovechkin Caps jersey because I loved Ovechkin when I got it. It has an A on it.
Oh.
That's how old the jersey
Who
is.
was the captain at the time?
Ooh, Tim. No, I was going to say Tim Taylor. He used to be captain of the Lightning.
It's
don't
Marchenko,
remember.
by the way.
Is it
Marchenko's
Marchenko?
in.
Yeah.
That's right. Hunwick
says-
Marchenko.
I just wonder if Marchenko's got the speed on the penalty kill. If you need the speed.
Polak doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. So you don't need it. You just need some smarts.
And Martin Boyle Levo.
So yeah, but listen, here's the thing. Bryce Harper is fucking unbelievable. And he stands for everything that is the youth movement in baseball. I love Bryce Harper. I do not blame you in the slightest for getting that jersey. Good for you. Hat, sorry. Man, just get the jersey. What are you doing?
And
Get the hat.
I think in baseball it's easier to be like, I have an American League team and a National League team. Like I wore a Blue Jay shirt to a San Francisco Giants LA Dodgers game. And they were all just kind of like, what are you doing here?
I don't like people doing that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Like I
wrong
was
with
once
that?
at a game, a Leafs game versus
I was wearing a Giants hat.
a Leafs game versus
I was
who
confused.
was it?
I went to a game in Ottawa between the Sens and Sabres wearing a Leafs jersey, and I felt like an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I thought it was funny, and
you know
then
who
the
does
second
that?
I got there, I'm like, I feel
You know
stupid.
the kings of that? The Saskatchewan Roughriders. And they will go to a different sport and still wear a Roughriders jersey.
You
And I
know
always
what?
find like it's like, oh, you couldn't just wear a t-shirt and a hoodie to the game. You had to wear your jersey,
I
eh?
think you can go to any rink in the NHL during any game and find a Blackhawks jersey.
Yes. I went to a Leafs-Pittsburgh playoff game when Yager was still on the Penguins, and some jackass showed up in a Buffalo Sabres jersey.
Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Even Buffalo fans would be like,
there's
what are you
something
doing?
worse about the Riders jersey because I feel like there's something with it that just goes, I actually know football.
And
You
not
all
football.
think you know football.
Canadian football.
Yeah, because this is my favorite thing in Canada. Well, it's real football. Canadian football
Our
is
balls
real.
are bigger.
Yeah, and our field is 110 yards. Our balls are bigger. Yeah, and
You know
it's
how
like
many Americans give a shit? None.
I think the real football is the one that's making billions of dollars every year.
Yeah,
I think that's the real football.
I think if you wore a CFL jersey to an NFL game, they'd be like, oh, cute.
Can I tell you a story?
I think, like, who did Doug Flutie play for in the NHL? NFL.
Buffalo
Buffalo. So if
and
you
San
wore,
Diego.
if you wore an Argos jersey to either of those teams and it's
That's
Flutie,
fair.
they
That's
might be
fair.
like, oh, yeah,
That's a good reference.
that's kind of fun. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
The guy that have I told this story before?
I don't know.
Guy that used to run the Argos up until this season, Jim Barker,
Okay.
approached a very close member of my group. I should say. I don't want to say who this
Okay.
was.
Okay.
And was upset at them because this is what's so funny. Jim Barker's from the States.
I don't think I know the story.
Was upset at this person because this person was an NFL fan and Jim Barker gave this person hell about it. Not in a fun way. Like we poke jabs at the CFL. Are any of us the biggest fan of the CFL? No, but we respect why people are. And we get it and I understand it, okay?
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? Like, and I lived out west. I understand why the CFL is so big. And yes, it is very exciting. It's just
certain things get certain people off.
exactly. I like MLS. There's a lot of people that think MLS is terrible.
It's a very
and
broad statement.
yeah. But
Yes.
so this guy goes and does the putziest thing I think I've ever heard,
Putziest.
which is not have fun at someone's expense and promote your league, but actually go out to them and say, like, shame them. And I when he was let go, it was kind of like, yeah, like everybody talked about when Jim Barker was hired here. Oh, what a friendly, affable guy he was. He wasn't
prick,
to this
eh?
particular person. And I was like, you're a bad rep for the league, and you're a bad rep for the Argos, who are already struggling in this town.
What was this the last game of the season?
No, this was years ago. Like Jim Barker was there for like what, 8 years? This was
Wow.
years ago.
At a game.
Not at a game. No public event. Gala dinner.
Not
was
public,
drunk.
private event.
I don't think. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Usually, if someone does something out of character and it's angry,
But we don't know.
Generally
his
speaking,
character.
I'm like-
this could
We
just
don't
be
know.
him.
We know
Yeah.
what he
maybe
was
he's
around
sober.
reporters, right?
Which is completely different.
We don't know what he.
and he went at this guy for
Yeah, and it was just
that about?
apparently, according to all who attended, it was very awkward. He just took a very aggressive line of questioning, as in, well, why don't? And it came down to this: you're Canadian. Why don't you support a Canadian league?
Fuck off.
I feel like that's just the way CFL people are. They're very defensive about their sport because they know not a lot of people care about
Have
it.
I ever told you guys about the BlackBerry thing we got into trouble with in Calgary?
No.
We had when I worked in the morning show in
yeah, I
Calgary,
heard, yeah.
we had this toss your BlackBerry for a new iPhone. So literally, we took people to the Apple store, and if you threw your BlackBerry the furthest, you got a new iPhone.
Genius.
And so we think this is just some small goofy thing, right? Because we're irreverent. We're like how we are on this show, right? The morning show with Danae and Fuzzy in Calgary was, we were sarcastic, we were funny.
It's fun.
It's fun. The amount of emails and calls and tweets we got from people who called us unpatriotic, get out of my country.
You threw the Canadian flag
They
for
were
an
like,
iPhone.
and I was like, it is. And I remember responding to a guy on Twitter and going, "It is not my fault that Research in Motion continues to put out an inferior product.
Yeah.
Not my fault."
It's also not your fault that that's just a really, really good radio promo idea.
I think it's amazing. Yeah, that my boss came up with that. He was genius for that. He was really good. And I honestly,
That's such a.
like it's
Where
not
did you throw them?
in the parking lot. Like it was cold. It was like a November morning. It was freezing.
I was picturing.
It already snowed.
For some reason, I was picturing you in the mall.
No. No, we were hanging out with all the Apple nerds
In the food court.
Take that, Manchu walk.
Some family eating right in their drink everywhere.
Empty parking lot. Biggest mall in Calgary, Chinook Center. Toss your BlackBerry for an iPhone. And it was an iPhone 5.
Edmonton might have to say something about that biggest mall thing.
I said biggest mall in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
The Edmonton Mall is the biggest mall in Calgary, all right?
You can see it from space. You can skate and submarine in that. It's big. Is it a good mall? Doesn't matter. It's big.
You're just mad it's not in Toronto. Toronto, boy. What's wrong?
Anyway, I laugh sometimes with Canadians because we do have a bit of a Napoleon complex where it's like, and Steve, you talk about Gene Simmons talking about this in an interview once where, I'll let
he's the arbiter of advice.
But this particular point I think he made was a good one, which is what?
Yeah, this reporter was like, what do you think of Canada? Which so many Canadian broadcasters ask Americans, particularly entertainers.
And by the way, they ask us to ask that.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that.
We are asked to ask that question
locally.
Well, it's because if we say to the artist, come speak to Canada, which I hate.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's embarrassing to watch.
It's awful. It's awful for everyone involved.
But sometimes it works.
And
so sometimes you gotta use it. It's like diving.
We're a country that's a small town.
Yeah.
We're
Anyway.
the world's second largest small town.
It's ridiculous.
Gene Simmons basically goes like, Canada needs to have a little more self-confidence. We like you, okay? Like, stop asking about it.
Yeah.
We like you. You're fine. No one's like, oh, those fucking Canadians. I mean, there are some, but it's not a very large group.
No.
Oh, those goddamn Canadians. By the way, there is a group
Belgium.
that I did notice.
No.
They love Canadians.
I thought they were tired of Canadians at this point.
That's right. So I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast.
You did.
So I went to Amsterdam.
Yes.
Oh, did I say this?
Yeah, you did. A couple weeks ago.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, yada, yada, yada. There's a reputation that
Yeah.
people in the Netherlands love Canadians because we rescued them in World War II or something like that. And I saw this older couple that were like, hey, we're Canadian, blah, blah, blah. And they were like uber duber
Canadian.
over the top Canadian to see if, I don't know, to see whatever they could get, praise, free stuff. And you could tell the store owner was just like, I spend my day dealing with over the top, high Canadians.
Yeah.
Over the top, annoying, baked, higher than a kite Canadians. That's their life.
That would be frustrating to me.
A little bit.
And you know what?
And I think I would go home going,
By the way,
Canadians, man.
Canadians may have freed the Netherlands and Belgium.
Yeah.
But that
couple didn't do it.
When was that? That couple didn't do
That
it.
was a little while
If their
ago.
grandparents did it.
No,
Yeah,
probably not.
It might have been their grandparents. Like I know my grandfather was in World War II. He worked on Spitfires. That's what I know. But I didn't free the Netherlands. Okay, our forefathers freed the Netherlands.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
I just hope that we got to stop taking credit for that because it's not us. Anyway,
One more question?
whatever.
We took Vimy Ridge. Well, Canada took Vimy Ridge. I don't know about that we thing. I was not there.
Foxes for Sale wants to know. Not being familiar with the league, it took me a long time to realize when you guys said Jennies, you were referring to the Generals.
Oh,
What's taken you an embarrassingly long time to put 2 and 2 together?
Many things.
Man, there was
many,
something
many things.
recently.
Everything to do with the NHL CBA. Everything.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of one for me. There's been a few recently too, and I'm trying to remember them. But the reason I'm having trouble remembering them is
It
like,
took you so long to put it
it
together.
took me so long to put it together, so it's not exactly present in mind. I'll get tweets from people like, I've been watching for 7 years. Help me out. What's LFR stand for?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Leafs fan reaction. It's okay. I don't say it often. I'm not usually like, welcome to Leafs fan reaction. I just call it LFR.
I hope you do one day.
Hey, everyone. I
A
should do it.
mid-90s YTV show.
You should do a parody.
I'll be Phil.
You'll be or Nickelodeon for our American listeners, but
YTV
or BBC Kids for our British listeners. But you know what I mean? You should
It's
do
letter time.
every
It's
kids
letter time.
show in every country with kids shows is the same. It's too much energy time.
Hey, I want to do an over-the-top YouTube channel. Like a typical YouTube channel. Not just jump cuts. Like,
hold on.
Hey, everybody, I got to go nasally.
Hold on. I just want to pass that message on to everybody at Sportsnet. You, Steve Dangle, want to do an over-the-top YouTube channel?
You better
You mean
believe
like
it.
for a change?
No, like... I'm not talking Philip DeFranco. I'm talking... What's his fucks?
We should go back a moment.
Ray William Johnson.
To the wee old days, a long, long time ago, when the Leafs lost to the Florida Panthers. Was someone over the top that day?
No.
Did somebody overreact?
No.
Well, Jesse...
They lost by 5 goals, Jesse.
Jesse, what would they have said if they were overreacting?
The world is ending. The Leafs will never win anything ever again. Mm-hmm. Those types of things.
I like...
You know what? I got to be fair. I was with them on that. I was really depressed that day. So to be fair...
I like watching GTA 5 videos on YouTube because I'm a loser. And there are a few YouTubers who do GTA 5 like specifically, and I want to choke them to death. They're so annoying.
Yeah.
They are so, and
But
I'm
they have
like,
thousands and thousands of viewers.
oh my,
And they're really good at
millions, millions. These kids don't have to work.
No.
They don't got to work.
And then not only do they not have to work now, probably never again.
Ever again. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll watch this on mute because you're really good at GTA 5 and I want to see this cool thing that you did, but I just want to. It's like Step Brothers. I'm like, it's just something about your voice. I just want to punch your face. It's like me on that subreddit, Hittable Faces.
But they did say you have pretty blue eyes.
No, the comment was, I hate ugly people with pretty eyes. Which, thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Hey, man, that's good. I'll take that.
At least you said I was pretty.
2 and 2 together. I have no idea. A lot of people are like, it's funny within what I do, I have 3 totally separate audiences.
Oh, well, Jesse and I know one of them.
Yeah, so we're at the Jenny's game the other day. And whenever someone approaches you, it's always a compliment because it means that they have either seen you, appreciate what you do,
Unless they spit on you.
and they're not. Yeah, and they're nice. I don't know. It's never
Get off
happened
my
to me.
TV.
Never happened to me yet. But let's not rule it out.
I'm not ruling it out.
It's always an amazing compliment for me. Sometimes though, I have trouble knowing what it is they are listening. Hey, I listen to you all the time. I watch you all the time. It could be podcast, it could be TV, it could be radio. I don't know. So this particular tweeter, you can the one we got at the Jenny's game.
I don't remember which one because there were a few.
Well, somebody tweeted me.
I'm sorry.
And she was definitely a breakfast television viewer. And she said, watch you all the time. And sometimes with breakfast television viewers, they don't know how to use social media the way we do. And she hashtagged her own name after the tweet, which was so... And I was like, you're adorable. I love you. You're like my mom tweeting.
I won't
You're
say
like,
her name because I don't want her to get bugged, but the whole last game, Jesse and I were like, I wonder if she's here. I wonder, we should check the hashtag.
Yeah. So
Are
a
we
lot
going
of
to the game
people...
on Sunday?
Huh?
Are we going to the game on Sunday?
I'm going.
Are you guys coming
Yeah,
to the
I'm
game
coming.
on Sunday?
I'm coming.
It's easy for me to be like, I'm going because it's
You
not
coming?
that expensive and I live 8
It's
minutes
like
away.
$25. It's their second home game. It's going to be great. Second home game of the playoffs.
What time is the game?
I don't know.
So what I was going to say is 2 and 2 together, a lot of people have no idea that whatever it is I'm doing, they don't know that I do other things. So there's people that listen to this show, probably you know that I do other things, but you've probably maybe not consumed them. You've probably never listened to my radio show, probably not watched me on television.
I like how comfortable the podcast listeners are because I don't always get high anymore. I'll get like I was walking through the Jenny store and they're like, "Are you going to pay for any of this stuff?"
Some guy did that to you Sunday night.
And I'm like,
It's like, are you just picking what you
"Fuck
want?
you, thanks for listening."
When we were leaving, the guy who's handing out the programs was like, you got enough free stuff? Because
Yep.
you already had one. There you go.
Steve almost took a second calendar, though, didn't you? Somebody gave you
No,
one?
calendar,
they
not
offered
program.
me one,
Oh, because I know you.
and I was like, "No, I got one." And they're like, "You want another one?"
I couldn't tell if she knew you or not.
Jesse and I have a name for Adam's breakfast television audience, and that's Dina. Because I love you and Dina.
It's always Dina, man. Breakfast television.
Never Kevin.
Oh no, definitely Kevin. People
Never
like
Kevin.
we were at Canadian Screen Awards, and they do this like meet and greet thing, and I was there, and people were like, literally, they look at Dina and be like, Dina! And they like grab big hug, whatever, with Dina, and they look at me and go, where's Kevin? And some guy tweeted Kevin and was like, and said it was great to meet you and Dina, and the pictures of me and Dina. And then somebody went up to Dina and was like, Diane, I love you so much.
You just made me flash back to one of the chilliest moments of my entire life. So West Rouge Community Center or West Hill, where all the dances were. The preteen dances.
One of the two. Yeah, the community center.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So that's where all the dances were. And
It's a converted barn.
It was really fun lining up for the tickets.
Yes.
Because I was like 12, 13, and I'm lining up for the tickets, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, oh, I wonder if one of these girls is going to dance with me or something. Because, like, dude, I was such a loser, and no girl ever looked at me that way.
I know.
And this gorgeous girl walks up to me, and I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And I had this friend, a really good friend of mine. We ran track together, and every girl wanted to be with this guy. So this girl walks up to me, I'm like, what's she gonna say? She just goes, hey, you know Antoine, right? I was just like, oh, fuck. And my ego didn't recover. Still to this day, it's still damaged.
Jesse, what were you like in grade 7 and grade 8 and in high school?
I was a loser.
Were you?
He was 4'5". Were you one of those guys who had like a crazy growth spurt, or were you always kind of tall?
No, I was always kind of tall. Yeah.
Okay.
Throughout elementary school, I was always in the back row at the picture. So, yeah.
So you weren't like a ladies' man in high school?
Oh, God, no.
Wow, that means 3 of us.
High five!
High fives. High fives all around. And 2 of us still aren't, so that's good.
3 of us. Excuse me. Thank you.
So if anybody's going to the Oshawa Generals game on Sunday, I think we're all going to be there, right? We're in agreement?
Yeah.
And
that's what I was leaving the door. I didn't want to pressure you guys because you got a journey ahead of you. I'm just like, saunter
Dude,
down
I just
the
bought
street.
the Antropop jersey. I have to go now.
That's actually very true. Yeah, if that was the last game of the season, I'd trip you pretty hard. It's getting late.
Oh.
I want to get on the DVP before there's too much traffic and I get hit again.
Yeah, Steve got into an accident.
Yeah.
Got rear-ended.
Leaves in New Jersey tonight. Do we think they can win? Do we think they can win?
Do you have your Tampa Bay gifts?
I do not. That's why I didn't ask you for Live Vig.
You said!
You said you had them.
I did say.
Why did you lie?
Because I don't have them. Because I let you down.
I have Liberty Village.
I went home.
Why are you always lying?
And I forgot to pick them up again, so my bad.
Why?
Tuesday. You want to keep going? We'll just wrap on this.
Oh my God.
Stop fucking lying!
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.